Hey y'all, and welcome to Meals in the Making number 21, or number 20 I think, who knows. First I want to say sorry for the appearance. It's been a very long day and that's okay. So the theme for this week is breakfast for dinner. I don't know about y'all, but Robbie and I have breakfast for dinner here all the time. So these two recipes I came up with are mostly centered around eggs, but there's something that you can do for breakfast on a day when you need to have breakfast as your lean and green, or if you want to do half of your lean and green for breakfast and half of it for dinner. These you can play with because a lot of them don't have all of your greens in them. So this week we are making bacon cheddar ranch egg cups, or egg McMuffins I guess you could say. And then the other recipe is a spinach and roasted red pepper frittata. Sounds pretty fancy. It's actually super easy, so I hope that you'll enjoy these recipes. Let me show you what's in them. For the bacon cheddar ranch egg McMuffins, you will need 20 ounces of egg beaters, 2 tablespoons of chopped onion, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, 2 cups of chopped bell pepper, the color of your choosing, 8 slices of turkey bacon. If you can find the lower sodium, that one's even better, but if not, just turkey bacon is fine. 1 cup of low-fat or fat-free cheddar cheese, and 2 teaspoons of a ranch dressing packet. As always, the first thing I'm gonna do is preheat my oven to 350 degrees. The next thing that I'm gonna do is take my bacon and get that going. I always do it in the microwave just because it's so much faster, but if you prefer to do it in the oven or in a pan, that's fine too. You just wanna make sure that it's cooked before you put it in with the rest of the Egg McMuffin mixture to bake. I'll have to do 2 batches of 4. I'm gonna put these in my microwave for 1 minute and 45 seconds to 2 minutes, depending on how my microwave cooks it. While my bacon is cooking, I'm gonna go ahead and chop up my bell peppers. I've got 1 yellow and 1 orange if I need it, but I need 2 cups of this. The next thing I'm gonna do is go ahead and chop up my cooked bacon into smaller pieces. Now that everything's chopped up, I'm going to now start my egg mixture. To do that, I'm gonna take 20 ounces or 2.5 cups of egg beaters and put that into my mixing bowl, along with my 2 tablespoons of diced white onion. Then I'll go ahead and add my 1/4 teaspoon of salt and my 1/4 teaspoon of pepper to our mixture. Oop, that's 1 teaspoon. And also our ranch dressing packet. Lastly, I'm gonna add in our bell pepper, and whisk it together. Then I'm gonna take a 12 muffin tin pan and give it a little spritz with my pan. I use the olive oil pan. And then I'm gonna evenly divide this mixture between all 12 cups. I'm gonna fill it up about halfway. with a little bit of bacon. Whoopsie. I'm gonna give it a little bit of a stir to make sure my bacon has mixed in a little bit. You can also just add the bacon into your egg mixture before you whisk it. It's up to you. And then for our very last step, I'm going to sprinkle cheese on top of all of these just to top them off. Remember that you divide a cup between the entire tin. Okay, so I'm gonna pop these in the oven for 20 minutes and let them bake and pray the whole time, because like this is a new recipe just like last week's. And if you watched last week's, you know that Robbie had to come in and save the day. So let's say a little prayer. Y'all, these look a little messy, but they smell so amazing. I was a little worried about the egg beaters and not using like actual eggs, but they turned out really well. They're like perfectly spongy, which is great. This equals 4 servings, so 3 muffins is a serving. And that is gonna be 1 full lean, 1 green, and 3 condiment. So you get 2 healthy fats with this that you have not used yet, so you can have 2 healthy fats for the rest of your day, and you will need 2 more green. So you could do this for breakfast and have a salad later on in the day, or do it for dinner and have like a salad for lunch. Either way, it's gonna be so good. I'm so excited. Hi guys, and welcome to the second part of this video where I make the spinach and roasted red pepper frittata. Let me show you what's in that. So this recipe is just a bit different because 2 of these frittatas equals your meal for the night, minus 1 green. You will need to add a green after this. Sorry, my dog is deciding to eat his dinner right as I'm filming. But for 1 meal or 2 frittatas, you will need 2 cups of baby spinach, 2 cups of egg whites. I use egg beaters, but you're welcome to use any kind of egg white. I know there's some that are at the store that are called like all whites. This is just regular egg beaters. Half a teaspoon of black pepper, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1 cup of diced red pepper, and 4 tablespoons of Parmesan cheese. The first thing I'm gonna do for this recipe is put it on broil, actually. The next thing I'm gonna do is chop up my red bell pepper. Remember, I need 1 cup of it for 2 frittatas. So if you're doubling this recipe and eating like for a couple, you'll need 2 cups. Realized is you're gonna want to chop them and then put like half a cup separated from another half a cup, because you're doing 2 frittatas and you have to throw it into the pan and then it doesn't come out of the pan for you to separate it. You'll see in a second. The next thing that I'm doing is I am heating up a nonstick pan. It's actually the nonstick pan that I used last week that I almost ruined. Robbie fixed it. Again, he's amazing. The next thing that I'm gonna do is throw in 1 cup of spinach and half a cup of roasted red pepper into my pan that's heating up, and let that kind of mix around until the spinach wilts, so about 1 to 2 minutes. So just watch it. Now I'm gonna take a cup of my egg whites and go ahead and pour that in this bowl and start whisking it. Okay, so you want it to be light and frothy like that. And then I'm gonna add in 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt to this and 1/4 a teaspoon of pepper. And give it a little bit of whisk so that it's nice and mixed through. And then I'm gonna pour this straight onto my spinach and roasted red peppers. I'm also gonna add in my 2 tablespoons of Parmesan cheese. I'm gonna let this cook through until the egg whites start to cook through, and then I'm gonna lift up the edges, and then it's gonna go into the oven, but I'll show you all that. The next thing I'm gonna do is put this into my oven, which is set on broil, and watch it, but it should take about 2 to 3 minutes to cook all the way through. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, y'all, my camera's about to die, but let me just say that this looks and smells amazing. And those Egg McMuffins, we tried them for dinner, and oh my gosh, they were so good, y'all. Definitely a must try. This is half of a meal, so 2 of these would equal 1 lean, 2 green, and 2 condiments. Hope you enjoy.